Hello and welcome to News Roundup, where we bring you highlights and key stories. I'm Sharifat Ibrahim. First, the headlines. Federal government vows to safeguard 2027 elections, warns against AI-driven disinformation. Governor Ododo urges TED Fund to drive research innovation in North Central. NFF seeks fresh direction for Super Falcons after WAFCON setback. Now the news in detail. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to securing Nigeria's 2027 general elections with a pledge to strengthen security, counter disinformation and protect public confidence in the democratic process. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris gave the assurance in Abuja at the 8th Public Lecture Impact Series and Awards of Excellence organized by Blueprint Newspapers Limited. The event, themed Security Challenges and Integrity of Nigeria's 2027 Elections, brought together government officials, political leaders, security experts, and other stakeholders. Idris said credible elections depends not only on what happens at polling stations, but also on the security environment, the integrity of institutions, the conduct of political actors, professionalism in the media and access to reliable information. He said the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would continue to deploy personnel, resources and technology to tackle terrorism, banditry, kidnapping and other threats capable of undermining the electoral process. The minister also warned of the growing danger posed by misinformation and disinformation, particularly with advances in artificial intelligence, which he said had made it easier to create convincing fake audio, videos and images. It stressed that democracy could not thrive where citizens were deliberately misled. He disclosed that the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, in collaboration with UNESCO and other stakeholders, had established the International Media and Information Literacy Institute in Abuja to improve citizens' ability to identify and respond to false information. In his remarks, former Zamfara State Governor and Senator representing Zamfara West, Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, called on Nigerians to treat insecurity as a collective responsibility. Yari warned against politicizing insecurity, urging political leaders, communities and citizens to work together to make the country safer. Also speaking, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, represented by Major General O.T. Akinjobi, said the changing security landscape required a broader approach to election security. He said election security now extends beyond protecting polling stations and electoral materials to addressing cyber interference, misinformation, disinformation, and attempts to undermine confidence in democratic institutions. Musa called for intelligence-led security planning, stronger cybersecurity, improved interagency coordination, strategic communication, and greater citizen participation ahead of the 2027 elections. Earlier, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Blueprint Newspapers Limited, Salisu Umar, said the annual lecture, which began in 2018, was established to provide a platform for deeper discussions on national issues and to recognize Nigerians who have contributed significantly to national development. The event was attended by several serving and former governors, ministers, political leaders, security officials, and heads of government agencies who joined the call for peaceful, secure, and credible elections in 2027. And Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has called on the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to deepen investment in research and innovation to unlock economic potential of the North Central region. Victoria Stephen report.
Governor Ododo made a call at the 2026 TED Fund Town Hall meeting for the North Central held in Lokoja on Thursday. He commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for supporting TED Fund and investing in infrastructure and other projects across Kogi State, the North Central region and across the country. He cited the expansion of infrastructure in tertiary institutions in the state, which he noted are among the fastest growing state-owned higher institutions in the country in terms of physical infrastructure due to interventions by TED Fund.
The government of Kogi State remains committed to supporting every sincere effort aimed at strengthening TED Fund. We shall continue to provide an enabling environment for its intervention because we believe that strong tertiary institutions are indispensable to building a productive economy, job creation, and securing our future.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who also spoke at the meeting, commended Governor Odudo for his efforts in strengthening tertiary education in Kogi State. He highlighted TED Fund's 2026 interventions, which provides 2.53 billion naira for each university, 1.87 billion naira for polytechnics, and 1.02 billion naira for colleges of education.
Now, these are not simple budgetary figures. They represent laboratories that can be equipped, lecture halls that can be built, libraries that can be modernized, research that can be supported, and students who can learn in better environments. This is what these figures represent.
Describing the investment as significant to the development of tertiary education in the country. He also said more than 1.2 million students have benefited from the federal government's decision to channel recovered funds into the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, providing increased access to tertiary education. Earlier, the member of TED Fund Board of Trustees represented the North Central Zone, Hassan Ocholi, described the meeting as a strategic platform for stakeholders to assess the impact of TED Fund interventions and identify areas of support.
This engagement as an opportunity to listen, learn, and identify areas where TED Fund interventions can have greatest impact. It is an opportunity for us to hear directly from vice chancellors, rectors, provosts, commissioners of education, students, traditional rulers, and community leaders.
Stakeholders at the meeting called for stronger TED Fund interventions to address emerging needs in tertiary institutions, particularly in technology, innovation, and infrastructure, while commending Governor Odudo for his commitment to the development of tertiary education and sustained investment in the sector across Kogi State. A major highlight of the meeting was the endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by stakeholders from the North Central Zone and the adoption of Governor Odudo as patron by TED Fund stakeholders. I'm Victoria Stephen.
And Governor Ahmed Usman Odudo has urged the residents of Kupa community in Lokoja local government area to embrace peace by supporting traditional and community leaders in sustaining peaceful coexistence, while calling on youths in the area to avoid taking the law into their hands or allowing themselves to be used to perpetrate violence. Governor Odudo made a call when he visited the community to commiserate with the people over the recent communal crisis which claimed the lives of 12 persons. The governor condoled with the bereaved families and urged residents, particularly youths, to resist attempts to be used as agents of destruction, especially during elections. He assured the community that his administration would continue to strengthen security and respond to developmental needs, particularly in the areas of healthcare, education, agriculture, and physical infrastructure.
On behalf of government and people of Kogi State, I want to condole the families of those that lost their lives. We pray to God Almighty never to see such incidents. The security needed, and thank God the CP is here, the brigade commander representative is here, the state director DSS is here. We have put heads together. We are making every frantic effort to address it, and in no distance time you see our presence here.
Meanwhile, the Etsu Kupa Mayaki, His Royal Highness Pharmacist Dauda Kabiru Isa, described the visit by the governor as significant, saying his presence at a difficult moment had brought calm and renewed confidence to the community. The monarch called on the people to resolve their differences peacefully, stressing that the different ethnic groups and communities in Kupa land were all his subjects and have lived together peacefully over the years. Also speaking, the Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly and prominent community leader, Right Honorable Umar Yusuf, commended Governor Odudo for his prompt response to the crisis and for directing security agencies to immediately intervene to bring the situation under control.
When we call upon you of the security situation in Kupa land, thank you for instructing the Commissioner of Police and Commander to take charge of the situation and bring the situation into control.
It will be recorded that the state government had earlier condemned the killing of 12 persons in Kupa community during a violent clash involving members of the Kupa Community Vigilante Group and a hybrid vigilante group associated with Fulani herders. The news roundup is coming to your Lugar TV. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Under Governor Ododo, infrastructure development is no longer a promise. It is visible, measurable, and felt everywhere. Over 250 kilometers of road now stretch across all 21 local government areas, connecting communities and unlocking rural economies. From the audit house to doctors and police quarters, erosion control projects to the Pencom House and township roads, the message is clear. This administration is building for impact.
We extend our gratitude to His Excellency Alhaji Usman Ododo for his efforts to see that we have a very good development in our community in general, especially this unit of road. We had it very tough to convey our material as at then. When this governor came, the construction is ongoing. We've been having it very perfectly to convey our material from our farm, from market to our residence conveniently. And anybody who may wish to come to our community will come conveniently. Before they will refuse to come to this place. Not only that, the culvert and drainage we have here is fantastic.
Honestly, we have lost hope on this road. As major as it is, this particular road is linking so many communities together. It's linking Okeagi community to Mopa. It's linking Ilema Okeagi community to Mopa, as well as Ilai community to Mopa. And this particular road is linking this aspect of Ileteju area to the other aspect of Ileteju area. So we want to give kudos to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, for this magnanimous achievement. This particular one is laudable and we so much appreciate it.
We really appreciate the government for doing this particular thing for us. Since they introduced this particular erosion control in this area here, we are all happy about it. Here is very free, with its rainy season, water will be flowing freely now. Everybody will be enjoying their own environment. We thank God for that, for the government to impact this particular project in this area here. We are very happy about that.
Continue to reflect on our achievement, learn from our past, and continue to strive for a more inclusive, prosperous, and more united Kogi State.
Welcome back. People of the South-South geopolitical zone residents in Kogi State have endorsed Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo for a second term, citing his inclusive leadership and development strides across the state. The endorsement was announced during a courtesy visit to the governor at the government house in Lokoja. Umamat Musa report.
The endorsement was announced during a courtesy visit to the governor at the government house in Lokoja. President of the group, Mike Abu, described the visit as historic, saying it was the first time to his knowledge that a sitting governor had formally engaged the South-South community in the state. Abu highlighted the administration's achievements in healthcare, education, security, infrastructure, the Kogi International Airport, Kogi International Market, and regular payment of workers' salaries as reasons for the group's support for Ododo's re-election in 2027.
When a man has a constitutional right to a second term, particularly when he has done well the way His Excellency the Chief Servant has done, there is no point we begin to fight over nothing. Your Excellency, having said all of this, let me quickly wrap up and say, no one crosses your path and his life remains the same.
Responding, Governor Ododo thanked the community for its support and contributions to Kogi State, while appreciating them for backing the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He assured the group that request for land for a South-South Town Hall, mobility support and consideration for appointment would receive appropriate attention.
It was written boldly here that I am going to plead with you people that going into this election, let us support Mr. President. But you have said it. You have resolved. So my own is to thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming together to see reason why you should continue to support us. And I'm happy that I'm meeting you today. And as I have said, we cannot continue to play politics with our people. You have asked us to serve you. and will continue to serve you.
The governor also urged the community to shun violence and resist attempts by politicians to use them as agents of destruction during the election season, assuring that the administration would continue to create opportunities for them to contribute to the development of the state. Ayamu Mat Musa.
The chairman of Kogi State Security Trust Fund, Air Vice Marshal Umar Omeza, retired, has expressed the readiness of the organization to partner the state chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations to advance the gains of strategic communications by the organization. He stated this when he hosted the state chapter of the NIPR in his office in Lokoja. Victoria Stephen again. Report.
Umar said the State Security Trust Fund has sustained the provision of necessary logistical support to ensure intensified commitment to the protection of lives and property, noting that since his assumption of office, he has ensured that those tasked with the safety of lives and property get what is required to perform their duties for the good of the state.
It's all about family and familiarity and brotherliness, and that's what we need to move forward in our job. I want to really welcome you to Kogi State Security Trust Fund. All that I have said, we have noted. Some of them we know before, but I'll be more enlightened as to the activities and the duties of NIPS. When we collaborate, we'll be able to do more on this. And I'm hoping and praying that we'll be able to do more, collaborate. And since, like you notice, we don't talk much, so we need people like you to talk for us, yes, sure. And so and bring us to the limelight. We'll try our best. We're just 1 year old here, and we'll try to do more as time goes on. On behalf of all of us here, I want to thank you for having time to visit us. Thank you very much, and thank you so much.
Speaking earlier on the essence of the visit, the chairman of the Kogi State chapter of the NIPR, Ismaila Isa, intimated the management of the Security Trust Fund that NIPR encourages continuous development and professionalism among practitioners to excel in their craft.
As PR people, we like to bring out your work. So even if you don't want to come out, sir, we want to tell you that we, the NIPR members here in the Kogi State, want to support the agency by promoting the work that you do. Through a network of over 10,000 members around the country, we want to put this agency out there. And then your advocacy to get support and the people to partner with you and then support what you are doing, even both kinetic and non-kinetic efforts that we are making as a state government. On this note, I want to commend you for also following the footsteps of the earlier holders of this office by ensuring that our colleagues who are working with you, I mean the public relations officers, are properly positioned at the management level in a way that they are part of decision making here. And I see that in the way you relate to the PRO, and this is what I've seen here consistently. Having said that, we will continue to partner with you and then explore areas where we can collaborate in promoting the work that you do through our network of colleagues, those of them in the media, and many of us who are also in different platforms where we can support and help you in your advocacy, which I think is required for you to attract the funding you require to support security agencies in the state.
He stated that public relations must be treated as a management function and practitioners should be encouraged to be part of decision-making for the good of their organizations. I'm Victoria Stephen.
On sports, the Nigeria Football Federation has directed members of the Super Falcons technical crew to step down with immediate effect following the team's disappointing campaign at the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The decision comes after Nigeria failed to reach the semi-finals of the competition and more significantly missed qualification for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. It is the first time the Super Falcons will miss the Women's World Cup since the tournament began in 1991, bringing an end to Nigeria's record of appearing at every edition of the competition. The NFF is now expected to begin the process of finding a new technical team capable of rebuilding the 9-time Africa champions. The development has also intensified calls for wider reforms in Nigerian football. The Association of Nigerian Football Supporters Clubs has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to intervene and support efforts to revive the country's football fortunes. The supporters group is calling for a structured dialogue involving the federal government, the National Sports Commission, the Nigeria Football Federation, and other football stakeholders, while stressing that it does not want government interference in the autonomy of the NFF. Meanwhile, a FIFA-backed workshop on Nigeria's amateur football environment Environment has concluded in Abuja, with FIFA experts commending the NFF's efforts towards grassroots development. With the Super Falcons now facing a rebuilding process and wider questions being raised about the administration and development of Nigerian football, attention will turn to the next steps taken by the NFF to rebuild football in Nigeria. And that is it on this week's episode of News Roundup. Until next week, I'm Sharifat Ibrahim. Thank you for staying with us.